said I got to say something, baby, hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic. Somebody hand me a mic, cause I got to say something, so just hand me a mic. When I need to say something, better hand me the mic. I said I got to say something, better hand me the mic.
You know, if I wasn't English, I'd rather be English than anybody else. Anywhere else, any other nationality.
Really?
Yeah, just I think of patriotism more than anything. Just proud, you know.
Yeah.
I think I've had it drummed into me, you know. I'm proud to be British. I'd rather be British than anybody else.
That's cool.
Yeah,
like
but if
that.
I wasn't British and I had another choice, I wouldn't mind being a Texan.
Texan.
You know, born and bred. I don't mean the racist type. None of that. Take out the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But you know that like big truck, ranch living, check shirt, cowboy hat, rifle, proud, beef eating.
Big fucking barbecues every
Yeah, big
weekend,
barbecues.
You know?
If you could just take out the negative side. Like when I think of them, I think racist. I think ignorant. That's what I do think. A lot of them are like ignorant to like...
Not all of them, though.
Not all of them.
We're not ignorant.
I'm just talking about the stereotype.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah,
that.
I know where
if you
you're
could
coming
mix
from.
that with like sensible. Do you know what I mean? Not the
I
boring
think it
type
could
of
be a
sensible.
nice life.
Of course.
Yeah.
It seems to look good on the TV, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine you had a big American truck. You know what I mean? You know,
Just living off like, is it Route 66 that goes through the middle of that? That's like,
I don't know.
like I've
Doesn't
seen.
Route 66 go from New York to LA? Isn't that what it is?
I thought it was like across the.
If we had a Jamie could find out, couldn't he?
Yeah, no, he's bringing his double shot espressos. You've seen the massive tanks of coffee that we've got there.
Yeah.
Like, he's made sure I've got a double shot espresso as well, just because he really wants that heart attack to start
Yeah.
sitting in. You know.
Jamie's back. What would you like?
Jamie's back. Just tell us where Route 66 goes from and to. Does it go through Texas? Was that the question?
Yeah,
Does
I
it go
think
through
so.
Texas?
I thought it did, yeah, because like I've just seen documentaries where people go on Route 66 and they meet the kind of person that we're describing there. So it makes us think like, you know, if you lived on there, that would be like a nice little life.
Oh, it's not New York. That's Detroit.
Yeah, so it starts in downtown Chicago and ends
Chicago.
in Santa Monica Pier in California.
Huh.
Oofed.
I did not think that was
Hands
where
in
it
the air,
went.
but I'm sorry.
I didn't think that was where it went.
I thought it was like east to west coast, but anyway, it's close enough, isn't it? I mean, look at the map; it's close enough.
Yeah.
Do you know, hands in the air? If you ask me, what's your number one bucket list? I have this like fantasy, right? Like, join me for a moment, will you?
Okay.
So I have this fantasy that like one day it's like whatever made it is. Doesn't have to be like multi-millionaire. Just comfortable. Just done life. You know, life tick.
Yeah.
No more worries. Like, you know that thing we talked about? Again, take out the silliness. We're not talking Ferraris and helicopters and Versace shirts.
Just enough to make a comfortable living.
just
have a bit of comfort in your
at
life.
peace, both financially and in work. I have this dream, this bucket list dream that one day I can take like whatever it takes, like a month and a half, just some big epic trip of a lifetime, but do it in not in the convertible. I want to get the camper. You know what I mean? The big hire,
like
the
the
big
RV thing.
yeah, and do. It doesn't have to be Route 66. I imagine you could probably do that in a few days if you went flat out. But you know, like a version of just 3 months every state. No rush, no schedule, no nothing. Just see it all.
Yeah.
Special, right?
It would be amazing. It
Yeah.
would, yeah. If you could take a year out and do that sort of stuff. Oh, man. I've always wondered about, like, because when I left uni, there was people who took like a year out before they started looking for jobs and stuff. And I always wondered how they found it like financially viable to go and do that. Like,
I have no
boggles my
idea.
mind. I've got like a mate who just like went and spent like a few months in Australia. And I'm just like how the fuck did you afford to do that?
It's-
Like, why were you not? Like, he's just like, I just made it work. And I was like, you're not like stressed out your mind about money.
It's beyond me,
Blows my
mate.
mind.
I've heard this before. This taking loads of time off work.
I love it.
Like, I know I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, as it stands now in my work, I can't even go on holiday and have the week. If I go on holiday, I'm working every day on holiday. You know what I mean? Yes,
Yeah.
I might be on a beach and I might be chilling, but I'm still, you know, dash media in it, so to speak.
Fucking hell.
But that's the dream one day.
Yeah.
Look at them roads. I don't know where they are.
Well, when we were on about, you remember a little while back when we were on about doing that little grifting thing where we were going to,
Oh, the mooch.
the mooch, that's
The
the one
mooch.
I was looking for.
That will happen
I
one
was
day.
thinking like Route 66.
Imagine that. And it's safe.
Yeah, exactly. Ticks
Oh my
the boxes, doesn't it?
Hey, watch this
It would be
space.
fucking sick, wouldn't it?
You hear that there, Southpaw?
That'd be a good one.
Imagine.
Wow.
Be a good way to start it.
would
Safe as houses. Lots to see. Because each state in America, like, well, not each state, but like when you go through America, some states are like different countries to the next one.
Oh, it's mad, yeah.
Yeah, like you look at like Texas compared to like Maine, you know, or right up at the top, what's it called, like New Hampshire and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, wherever that is, it's a different world. I mean, I think Texas is like a country if you think about it.
They
Like,
are, pretty much. Some of them are like bigger than Wales and shit, I'm
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
yeah, but the way we were going with Texas is if I wasn't English, I'd love to be a cowboy Texan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rodeos and stuff.
I kind of like that.
They just seem so ignorant and racist, you know.
I think when I was a kid, I really liked the idea of living in America.
Me
and stuff.
too.
And then I think as I've gotten older, I've started to realize, oh my God, the healthcare system,
Guns.
like, they work like longer days than us. Like they get less they get shafted on the holiday front compared to us.
Oh yeah,
Like I'm just,
the healthcare in America, the fact you have to pay, I don't quite understand how it works, but it seems to me that unless you've got money, you aren't getting fixed, basically. And the gun thing is, I find that terrifying. You know what I
weird.
mean? We've
Yeah.
all had bad days.
yeah. I mean, I've been over there, like you're shopping in Walmart. They've just got like, there's just a counter there and there they are.
Yeah, there's like
You
gun
get,
shops, right?
Yeah.
Imagine.
And not even specific gun shops. Walmart, like going to Asda.
Do you
Get your milk in a handgun. It's fucking mental.
do you agree with that thing they've got? You know, the like right to bear arms. Is it part of their like whatever their constitution or something? Is that right?
I think so.
That like, well, I don't know if it's all states, but yeah, like you're allowed. Like it's a lot more lenient. A lot more people have guns,
Yeah.
and like you can have a license and stuff. I'm not sure that's a good idea. You know,
Yeah. it's
Americans are like they're proud and they don't want to lose it. From what I hear, they don't want to lose their right. Could we have a spoon, Southpaw?
Of course.
Sorry about that, sir. But yeah, the from what I can gather, they're pretty dig their heels in about the guns and stuff. But to me, it just seems a bit dangerous. Like,
I mean, just do the comparison between us and them. How many gun shootouts do you hear about in the UK? Like,
well, not as many because the guns aren't legal.
you hear about none. Exactly, yeah. And then you hear the idea of Americans having guns is so that, you know, when somebody who has a gun approaches you, you have a gun yourself. It's like protecting the innocent because they can protect themselves kind of thing, you know? I think that was the idea. But as a result, anybody can get their hands on a gun and there's a hell of a rise in gun crime.
I think you've got to have a license, haven't you, to have a gun?
Over there.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can have them. I don't think it's just free for all. I think you have to have a license of some sort. How hard that license is to obtain, I'm not sure. But
Yeah, I think that would be the question.
to my understanding, that you have to register your gun too. I've heard of this. So if you own a gun, it has to be registered in your name. You know what I mean? I think in some states, I think it does differ from state to state, but from what I gather, whereas Texas is very lenient and you can have like a license to like carry and stuff like that, so you can have it on you. But I think other states, it has to be in a locked cabinet and like, I think it varies. But for the most part, as far as I understand it, you can't have a gun if you haven't got a license and it isn't registered to you. And I also think if you have a criminal conviction of certain types, you're also not allowed to own a gun or have a license to
It
own one.
says here some states and localities require a person to obtain a license or permit in order to purchase or possess a firearm. But then the Second Amendment to the US Constitution gives Americans the right to bear arms. So a little bit contradictory there, really.
So there's some states you have to have a license. Does that mean other states you don't have to have a license? Or
Yeah.
does that just mean other states you're not allowed a gun?
Only a dozen of the US states require, of the 50 states require purchase to permit handguns.
So is there states where you don't need a license? Google that, Southpaw.
Yeah.
Is there states you don't need a license to carry a gun?
Currently, there are other states.
So currently, the other states with permitless carry laws are Alabama. So there are a few. There's a lot.
God, there are a lot.
So this is, hang on, this is a state with permitless carries. You do not need a permit to carry your gun. But then, okay, this doesn't say whether you need a license to own this gun. So, like, okay, in these particular states, right?
Have a look at that drop down there. Is it legal to own a gun in America without a license?
Huh.
So you don't need a license.
There is currently no federal law requiring gun licensing for owning or purchasing a gun, and many states have not taken action to address high gun death rates or the fact that guns can easily travel across state lines. I didn't know that.
I think that's terrifying.
And that brings it to the point. America, I love America, but that does frighten me a bit. That people, nearly everybody's got a gun.
Yeah.
And what happens if he's having a bad day? You know?
Very easily gets out of hand, like it does many times.
I mean, we've all been in
school shootings and stuff. You hear about it quite fairly frequently.
I wouldn't say I'm a particularly road ragey person, you know, as such, but we've all, you know, something's happened in the car at some point. And
mate, something happened to me last night.
Go on.
So I was driving to pick Misha up about 10 o'clock last night.
From work?
From work.
Right.
Works. It's like a 5-minute drive, right? I go on a roundabout. I'm coming off the roundabout. And it's one of them ones where at the junction, they've got the triangle in the middle of like between both directions, where pedestrians would cross.
Yeah.
And a car went the wrong way down the road and tried to come past me down there.
What?
So I mounted the curb and the car came past.
What?
Yeah.
Was it like a twat? Was it a stolen car or something?
Yeah, I would assume so. I don't think it is. It's
just an asshole.
Someone's report. I think so. I think
just an asshole.
Kids being cunts, really. Yeah, it was a Ford Focus, so like it looked like one of them boy racer kind of cars. Where
did it? Did it look like it had money spent on it, sort of thing?
Yeah, it looked like it had a couple of modifications here and there, not like your base car.
When you see the modifications, you often think that's not somebody without a license. That's because he spent money on his car.
Yeah,
he's just a dickhead. You know, that's the difference.
Yeah,
but we've all been in situations like road ragey situations where you shout out the window, "You fucking dickhead," you know, whatever.
Yeah,
I have, not all the time, but I have. Can you imagine in America?
Oh yeah.
What do you say? You know, easy as that. We've all lost our temper. Imagine. I'm happy, thankful that we don't have guns in this country, because I've been in some tempers before, you know? Not so much now, but in my younger days, like, I used to lose my shit, you know?
Yeah.
Pure rage. Imagine you had a gun. Yeah. Look, there'll be some people in prison now in America that have had unfortunate situations, made mistakes with the guns. Not necessarily lunatics. They just, like, lost the shit for a second and did something wrong.
Not even so much as that. Like, you imagine how many accidental deaths there are because of guns as well.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I bet there's a lot of
that as well. There's a lot. Google that, Southpaw. How many accidental deaths in America in a year? There's a lot. I've heard this before.
Because I'd imagine that there's a thing where, like, because everyone else is allowed a gun, you then have to get a gun because you don't want to be, you're defenseless compared to them, really. You know? So innocent people who would rather go about their lives without guns existing now have to own this one and have one in the house.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah,
putting them in a dangerous position, really.
I've heard a lot of people say stuff like that they have a gun to protect the family, things like this, just in case, in a locked cabinet and all this carry on. And like, yeah, the only reason they've got it is because other people have them. Yeah. You know, if nobody in their country had a gun legally, then they maybe wouldn't have one.
Yeah. So it says here from a report in 2021, a total of 224,935 people died in accidents in the United States.
Wow.
Unintentional firearm discharges.
So that's a quarter of a million.
Zoom in on that for me screen recording, please.
All right, that's crazy, that though, isn't it?
So they're saying here that there was a quarter, or almost a quarter of a million, accidental gun-related deaths in 1 year, yeah?
In 2021, yeah.
Gosh. Fucking hell. That's a lot of accidents, you know? And that's just accidents.
Crazy.
You know, you add that to, like, non-accidental, like, on-purpose type gun deaths.
And people are out there worried about sharks.
You know? I mean, I don't like sharks, mind.
I wouldn't fuck with a shark, no.
No.
Yeah, let me Google sharks.
Go on, show us a picture of a shark.
Let's have a look at a shark then. How'd sharks come into it? What's going on?
I'm just saying, compared to sharks.
Oh, there'll be loads more guns and sharks, man.
Yeah, 1,215. And they're just attacks, not deaths.
No,
Crazy.
no. So what did you have for your tea last night, Johnny?
I got some chicken wings, man.
Chicken wings?
Chicken wings.
Where were they
I've
from?
been going through just Tesco's, man. Nothing too exciting.
In the oven?
Air fryer.
Oh, you're the air fryer crew. I've heard about
part
this.
of that group.
Everybody's in it, right?
Yeah, just saves time, man. You can literally like bag of frozen chicken wings. It's like what, 35 minutes in the oven, 18 minutes air fryer, bang, done.
And it cooks it just the same.
Even better, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you? What's the difference, Sam? If I cook some chicken wings in the oven, or I use the air fryer, the end product differs how?
You know, I feel like it traps a lot more of the moisture in the chicken and stuff like that. Feels a bit more less dried out, I'd say. I think it's a good thing.
So, like when you cook chicken wings in the oven, the tray is often covered in grease afterwards.
Yeah.
That's the juices leaving the chicken
Yeah.
and sitting on the tray. Whereas the air fryer,
It has like a drip tray, so it drips underneath. So that takes all the fat out. So I think it is actually healthier for you if you have them from the air fryer rather than if they're sitting on the tray. I think that the chicken's still soaking in it. So I think it soaks a lot of that up. Whereas we've got a drip tray in the air fryer, so it all drips out. And the chicken's better.
I've heard a lot of people on this air fryer thing. I've never used one, but I did have the George Foreman grill fad. You ever cooked a steak on a George Foreman?
I haven't.
It's dire, mate.
Dire.
It's dire, mate.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how to describe what's left, but it's if you take a tomahawk steakhouse or the steaks are available on your plate and how juicy and wonderful that tastes, it's wonderful, right? It's beautiful.
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 Love a good steak.
If you take the same steak and you put it on the George Foreman, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. I don't know what, but I'm left with this dry, basically piece of leather. That's what's left.
It's just a grill though, isn't it? It's not...
It's basically like it's like two sheets of, what would you call it? Like ceramic or something? It's not a grill. 2 sheets of hot ceramic. Yeah, the George Foreman, it butchers your steak.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it true that you have to cook your steak in a pan or something so that like juices can stay?
Simmer around.
Yeah, it can sit in its own filth, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing, right?
I'm no chef.
No.
I'm a famously bad cook.
You can order the hell out of a takeaway, though.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Like Misha's doing, she's been doing a stretch. She's halfway through like 4 late in a row, which means that she starts at 12, finishes at 10 o'clock at night.
When the cats are away.
So I have to cook the tea. So I cook it for when she, like, I make it, go pick her up, come back, it's ready.
You leave it in the oven?
No, I cook it and then it's kind of like sat there. But it's like a 5-minute trip to go and get it. It's like fine.
So it's still good?
Yeah, it's still good. And I am like running out of shit to cook.
Yeah.
I'm like so bad at it. Like I can do a wonderful omelette. I'm so good at a fucking omelette.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you put in your omelette? Just egg?
Ham, bit of onion,
Oofed.
salt, pepper, whatever.
Wow.
Loads of cheese. Banging. Really good omelette.
Is that your speciality?
Sad as it sounds, because an omelette's really fucking easy. Yeah, that's my specialty.
My dad did sort of teach me not that there's, I suppose, a wrong way, but I'm not bad at scrambled egg, you know. Yeah. Can knock up some nice scrambled egg.
I love it.
It's all in the salt and pepper, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And a lot of
How do
butter.
you like it? Do you like it sloppy or... I'm a sloppy scrambled egg guy, mate.
I think I'm a medium. I don't want it rock hard. I don't want mush.
Yeah, you don't want to dry it out.
No, but I think there's an art to getting it just right. It's like you've got seconds, you know?
Yeah.
Too early and it's sloppy, too late and it's gone hard.
100%.
But I'm heavy on the butter on the scrambled egg.
Yeah, I think that was the turning point for me, because I used to use, I had the fry light stuff.
Oh, no,
It's
sir.
shit.
No.
It's so shit. And like, it was just, everything was sticking to the pan and it ended up being like this dried out, burned fucking mess. And then when I went butter, oh, this works fucking wonderfully. And everything was working how it was supposed to.
I got a bone to pick with you as well.
Go on.
You've ruined my takeaways now. You know, last week I told you that I eat takeaways every night.
Yeah.
I was enjoying myself. I've lived, you know, I live in my own bubble. Life is good.
All right.
No one there to tell me what to do.
You got a little Jonny on your shoulders telling you.
Yeah. Now, all I see is, that's 30 quid. That's 35 quid. So now, and not that I didn't know what I was spending before, I think I just chose not to bring it in. But after your telling off, which is what it was, really, that's what it felt like.
I'm not even sorry.
No, but after,
I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm there for you, man. I try and help your situation.
well, yeah, I haven't stopped, but
You're thinking about it.
yeah, I'm very aware. Like tonight's Wednesday, and I'm aware what I've spent in the last 2 nights on takeaways. Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, you've ruined my you've ruined it now.
Oh, mate, we once, this was maybe 2019, I went through my Just Eat for the year, and I made the mistake of totting it all up.
Did you?
Just for a year, and it was like, we'd spent like a good like $2,000. Something crazy.
On Just Eats.
On like Just Eat, yeah. And we were like saying like, right, 2020, it's going to be the year. We ain't doing that anymore. So like January 2020, no takeaways. February, right back in it. And then COVID started.
I'm not fucking you off. I'm just doing a little
you're
calculation.
You're going to go and have a look. I don't know if there's a way to tot it all up. I think I went through kind of...
Well, I don't want to talk
with
about
a
that number
calculator.
anymore. We'll leave that there. I saw a number.
Did you just see something really ugly
Yeah.
there? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Go
So
on,
I'm
go
spend
on.
about tenner a month, probably, you know.
Gives a number, Dan.
About tenner a month.
No, give us a number.
Something like that.
No.
Tenner a month, that would be half a takeaway a month.
Yeah, well, I just did a quick calculation, and I did £900 a month. That's what I just saw.
No.
On an average at like 30 quid a day. Look, mate, I ain't eating no £7 chicken kebab. Do you know what I mean? I'm ordering Manjaros. I'm ordering Santorinis.
Did you ever get any spicy chips?
Not yet.
Oh, you
It's
need
on the
to.
to-do list. However,
Next time you have a Chinese man, get it.
the carnivore diet will not allow for that.
Ah.
You know?
How long have you been doing this for?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks now.
Maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
No peach melbas for you then.
No, sadly not. Maybe a cheat meal. I will have a cheat meal on Saturday. This salt and pepper chips sounds like a thing. Hey, hang on. Sorry to change the subject. Do you know what I saw the other day in the gym? Explain this to me, chaps.
Ooh.
I'm in the gym. It's a normal day. I go to the toilet. Okay. Now, there's no dogs in my gym. Okay.
Nor should there be.
Nor should there be. So how did a white poo get in the toilet? Answer me that. And I say white, I don't mean like a bit discoloured.
I'm not sure I want to see this, Jamie.
I mean white. I didn't know that was possible. I thought it was a dog thing.
Or a seagull thing.
Or a seagull thing. What is this? What is this person eating? Can we not have the images though? We'll just
No, we're not
Yeah.
going to get the images, but it says it could be a sign of an underlying medical condition like a liver or gallbladder disease.
If
Yeah.
you just ate too much mayonnaise.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
You stand and
Yeah,
stare for
like
it.
just-
Yeah. I was
Just picked
shocked.
it up like, what is this?
Yeah,
An albino poo.
yeah. Obviously, it was like a white Joe Joyce. It
FaceTimed
come
his
back.
mum.
You know.
Look at this.
Crazy.
Yeah, it had obviously been flushed and had decided
Come
it wasn't
back.
leaving. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was bobbing.
Double flushes are a problem, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. So basically, this gentleman's probably not very well. Is what it is.
Yeah, I think
At
that's
least he's
the
at the
case.
gym, you know, he's looking after himself. He's
Yeah.
trying to, I'm sure you lift enough weight, your pool will stop being white.
A lot of old people at my gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, but
Makes sense.
that you know, some
the-
old people, you know,
They'll
they're
have
not
some
very
weed.
well.
Yeah, I get that.
What I do find interesting though is religiously, my gym doesn't have any toilet roll. It's part of the charm. You know, it doesn't have toilet roll.
Right.
So whatever this gentleman got up to, he didn't wipe. You know, God bless his soul. You know, I mean, he's had a bad day, hasn't he?
I guess so.
A white toilet and no wipe. Bad day for him. But anyway, so yeah, he was
Makes
sick.
you not want to sit on any of the bikes in the gym, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, he's
Oh, dear.
I'd never seen a white human one.
No, that's interesting. That'll stay with you for a while, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he did. Tell you something else that I did this week. My friend had a party at the weekend, right? You know, side note, it seemed to be hilarious. Like 40th birthday, drinking, carry on. They hired one of them, because I got sent a video. They hired
didn't
one of
go?
them. No, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
They hired one of them, like, what I can only describe. Her name was Debbie. She seemed to be an overweight lady of about 5 foot tall, very short grey hair, and for the fine sum of £150, Debbie would turn up and what I can only describe is humiliate my friend on this video. It was like a show, so picture the scene. The video I saw was, a dozen, 2 dozen people laughing, sort of revving it on, let's say. And Michael, my friend, was being made to lick cream off this lady's body parts, and it was very inappropriate.
Yeah.
Seemed a lot of fun.
I think her name's Debbie Dumpling.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so because she was a Geordie. Mm-hmm. Ah.
Yeah.
You've been there before?
I have not.
Right.
I have
you witnessed Debbie?
My best mate's been there before.
Right.
And I've seen videos.
Yeah. So you know Debbie.
Pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Debbie.
Listen, all power to her. You know what I mean? She was game. Afterwards, she took pictures with everybody. It was all part of the show, you know? But looked very fun. But it did bring me to think, we've talked about this before, about not drinking.
Oh, no, mate.
Yeah, that's Debbie.
Yeah.
That's Debbie. Here she is. That's her in the middle. That's what I saw. Mm-hmm. That might be Michael.
Roly-poly-oly.
Yeah. It looks like Michael.
Oh, never.
Right.
Yeah, that's what went down.
Yeah, that'll do.
So what is the name for one of these people?
I guess they're a stripper.
Is that a stripper, is it?
Effectively,
I
guess so.
Right.
Just because she's not the most visually attractive stripper, I don't think she's defined as a
stripper with a niche.
Yeah. Listen, it seemed to be very fun, and she was taking it all in good heart.
Yeah.
She was.
I suppose you'd have to. It would be a very sad affair if you hired her and she was very sad about it. I'm like, I can't believe how I look.
Like the first few minutes of watching this video, I didn't zoom in on the the funny side of it. I just kept thinking oh, this poor lady, she's having to do this to pay bills or whatever. But afterwards, she was making light of it and joking about it. And then Adam said 150 quid, and I was thinking, she has 3 of them in a week.
She's done this for a while as well.
Has she?
Yeah.
She
Assuming
seemed
it's the same person, I would imagine that there aren't too many of these people doing this thing.
No, that's definitely Debbie.
Yeah, that's what I saw in the video that my mate shown us.
I wouldn't forget Debbie from that video, and that is definitely Debbie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great fun. And at the end, Adam sent me pictures. There was loads of selfies, and she was smiling. She had a drink with them, and so in the end, I didn't feel bad for her.
Yeah,
she's obviously comfortable, but it did make me think about something we talked about before, and not drinking and staying away from it. I told you before, if you don't drink, you really are isolated, because any social event, you hear people say things like, "Oh, come and don't drink." Come on.
I've done it. When you're the designated driver at things, it's oh man.
It must change the dynamic though, right?
I feel
out of place.
Out of place, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, that was it. I just wanted to see what your thoughts are. Is it a good thing or a bad thing to choose not to drink on the basis that it does isolate you in some way?
Honestly, I've been tempted. To cut it all together. Yeah. I've had some very bad times as a result of taking drink too far.
The day after or on the day?
Both.
Both. What, regrets and stuff? Oh, why did I do that? Why did I say that?
Regrets. I've had a few rather, let's say, dangerous experiences, and then
really,
Then I once slept rough.
You slept rough?
Kinda, yeah. I once had to break into my own house.
Right. What, you lost your key or something?
No. This was second year at uni.
Okay.
I'll tell you a story.
This seems like uni, not standard uni practice, really.
Kind of, yeah. So there was one night, and I've had a few nights prior to this where it was a similar kind of thing. But we would drink crates of just the cheapest shit, Foster's and stuff like that. And we'd go to the niece around the corner, get a crate of Foster's, 10 10 cans for like £8 or something shitty like that. They'd be lukewarm. And it would take us ages to fucking drink a can because it was fucking disgusting. But for whatever reason, on this particular night, it was like October, and these cans were going down fucking sound. And I was playing beer pong and I was sinking them, and I got through the full fucking crate. And then we go on to a place in Newcastle called Gotham. You ever heard of Gotham?
Heard of, don't know where it is.
It's sadly gone now. I used to love Gotham. It was so great. And it was like a dive bar, and they used to do really cheap drinks and had this deal on 3 treble vodkas for a £5. So I would get them a lemon and lime because it would like it tasted fucking disgusting. Like you could just, if you got it with Coke, it was just basically a cup of vodka.
Yeah.
Got it with lemon and lime. So then for some reason in my mind, it like took the edge off the vodka. You could taste them both really. It was like, you could taste the vodka and you could taste the lemon and lime. And I can't drink lemon and lime now because it just reminds us of that, brings back too many memories. But yeah, I was out with my mates that I lived with. I'd sank that full crate of Fosters, went on, got me 3 trebles for a £5, necked them. And then I step outside of Gotham to go to the next place, and the air hits us.
Oh no.
And I think that there's some magic in that.
Definitely.
In that, like when you step out of a room and you get fresh air into you, I think it helps things circulate around, and it just can knock you paralytic.
Yeah.
And that happened to me. So we get into the next nightclub. I somehow managed to get in. That's when my memory goes blank. And I can't remember anything that happened.
You can't remember?
Can't remember a fucking thing. I've pieced together some stuff. So next thing that I can remember, I'm having an argument with the bouncer.
Oh God.
He's obviously not letting us back in, not a fucking chance. So I'm like, all right, fuck you. And I leave.
Be your courage.
Go to get a taxi home, blank out again. Don't know what happened here. Next thing I know, I'm at my front door of my house. Haven't got my phone, haven't got my wallet. I've got my keys. I go to open the door, and we've got like a deadbolt on the door, like not one of them chains, like the proper lock metal ones. And that's on. And like, I was out with the lads. I've got back before them because I got kicked out. How the fuck is that on? And I found out why. They'd gone home prior to that. I'd seen some friends from work and decided to hang out with them.
Right.
And then they'd already gone home, thought I was already back, so they put the bolt on the door. And then when I'd gone to go home,
You're locked out.
I'm locked out. It's October. It's fucking freezing.
So what did you do?
I thought to myself, well, I haven't got my wallet, I haven't got my phone. So I'm going to go to the university library. And I'm going to I just needed somewhere warm.
Right.
I'm going to walk to uni.
I'm going to read a book on how to get in a house.
Library's 24 hours. I'm going to, sit at a desk. I'm going to wait this out.
Right.
Sleep at the desk. So I go to the university library, walk all the way there, and it occurs to us, holy fuck, I need a key card to get in. My key card
It's in your
is
wallet.
in my wallet. My wallet's gone.
Yeah.
So I sleep in the reception of that library
No.
for about half an hour, and then one of the security guards kicks us out of the library.
What?
So I'm then, fuck,
So what did you do?
where the fuck do I go? So I was like thinking, I could go to McDonald's, and I'm like, yeah, but I haven't got a wallet to pay for any food out.
Before the days of Apple Pay, I
So
assume.
yeah, I just walk myself back home. It's about a half an hour walk, something like that. And I sleep at the front door
In the cold. Probably being English and from the Northeast in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm lying there, I'm shivering my fucking tits off, thinking, right, I can't even sleep. What the fuck do I do? So I kicked that fucking door in.
You kicked the door in?
I kicked the door in, yeah.
You got in?
I got in, yeah. Luckily, I broke the good bit of the door. So it's just the latch brick that broke. Could have been a hell of a lot more expensive for us had I broke the
Couldn't you just
full
knocked?
fucking thing. Oh, it was brain on the door.
Oh, so they didn't hear?
Yeah, no. They
Right.
were probably passed out themselves.
No phone, no anything.
No phone, no anything.
I'll
So-
tell you an off-it story. This is, bear with me. This is a long time before I quit drinking. But it's one of probably the most scariest what could have happened moments in drinking that I ever had. Luckily for me, apart from admittedly once drink driving, I only did it once ever and barely remember it. But obviously the next day, and still to this day, haunts me and thinks like, what could have happened that night?
Oh, Cal.
I remember driving very fast in this car and being very drunk. Lucky, survived, idiot, right? I was only 17 then, what a fool.
Oof.
But anyway, so what had happened is my friend and Mark, I've told you about Mark before, this is when he still lived in England, and we'd booked a trip. I imagine a lot of people from the Northeast have been on this trip. It's the South Shields boat to Amsterdam. Right. You heard of it before?
I've heard of it, yeah.
So the deal is sort of 9 o'clock maybe 6 o'clock at night, something like that. It's late in the day. You get on the boat. Possibly it's earlier than that. I think it's in the day, but that doesn't matter for the story. So you get on the boat, you go to a cabin, right? Cabin, standard practice, bunk, nothing fancy, right? So being, 18 and stupid, drinking begins during the day, right? So me and him start sinking whiskey. We're 18, we can't drink for toffee. We're drinking whiskeys, we're having a good time, blah, blah, blah. We see these girls from North Shields, overweight, trolls, bless them. All is well, getting drunker and drunker. Obviously, I can remember the motion of the boat. It was in February. It was particularly choppy. The boat is up and down, up and down. And I remember getting to the point of, you know that feeling when you feel yourself getting really drunk and you have sort of like the third man's coming in and looking, thinking, oh, you're not very well here, Anyway, fast forward a bit longer. The next thing I know is it's all black, right? And I can hear a noise that sounds like and I open my eyes and it's freezing, right? Freezing cold. And it's pitch black. And I'm feeling and I can see some lights. What I can see is stars, right? And I'm feeling and I'm fuck's this? And it's a big rope, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I figured out it to be, this big, very wide rope, right? So I've got my coat on and stuff, and I can remember like, what the fuck? Thinking, what's going on here? And looking up, and I could see, the bit of a big ferry where they drive it from. What's the proper word? The bird's nest or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
Whatever that thing is, the big block at the front.
Yeah.
So I
the
looked
helm
up,
or something.
The helm, possibly.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I realised that I was at the front of this ferry, right? So I sit up and I look around, and where I am, I can see the point of the front of the ferry. You seen the Titanic before?
Yeah.
Where Jack and what? Yeah, I was there. Okay, that's where I was, right at the very front of the bow of the boat. The bow. There we go. Is that the bow?
The bow.
I don't know.
The bow of the boat.
Yeah,
it's called a cockpit, similar to a plane.
Like a plane.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So when I obviously came to my senses a bit and realized where I was, I stood up and the boat was like moving and stuff. And as I stood up, I could see over the front of the boat. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There was metal railings, but it was like 1 bar, 2 bar. It wasn't like encased.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, all of a sudden didn't feel very safe at all.
No, and I was stood and I had hold of it, and I'm looking and I can see like we're plowing through the sea. And I can remember looking left, and it was like, apart from the engine noise, it was like eerie. And as I looked, we were passing another ferry, and it was just like proper weird, like it was freezing. I could feel a North Sea wind, shh. And I looked, and we were passing this other ferry going this way, and I'm like, what? And like I turned around and I realized like that's a big ferry, and I'm stood at the front, and I'm thinking, how the fuck? And where I am isn't a place for public. It's not lit. It's pitch black, right? It's basically where they would drop the anchor. So there's a big rope and a big chain and stuff like this. And I'm obviously my eyes are starting to adjust to what's going on, and I can see stuff like mechanical stuff and like a chain over there and a big rope here. And it's basically the very, very, very front of the boat where public passengers are not meant to go, right? So I start like wading my way over, like, you know, whatever it was I was climbing over. I found like a bit of like a gap really where I got through. And as I walked back through, I was back on like the public bit, like on the deck, I guess.
Yeah.
More to the story is that isn't where it ends. So, you know, the first bit of the story is that was scary. What could have happened? How did I end up there?
Yeah.
You know, imagine falling overboard in the North Sea in the middle of the night. Nobody knew I was there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody would have known until the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anyway, so if that wasn't weird enough, like, I'm still like, you know, waving all over. Anyway, I walk inside, like these boats are. I can't remember where this cabin is, where I am. It's you know, floor after floor after floor. Anyway, I start going down the stairs, still drunk, like half like shitting myself, thinking, oh my God, what could have happened? And I noticed like on the railing that I'm going down, I noticed blood on the railing.
Oh,
right?
fucking hell.
Like there's like blood, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I walk around the corner, and there's like a hand streak of blood, right, on the wall, like as if someone's gone like horror movie shit, as if someone's gone like this.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's
And I'm like,
not,
what?
Not you.
So after a little while, I look at my hand, and it's me, right? My hand is cut to ribbons, right? And I'm like, and it's all over me, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know what's going on here, right? So what I did to find my room is I followed the blood, right, on the railing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't permanent, but you could see patches going all the way down where this blood was. It was on the carpet. Like, it had like a
like an
carpet
episode
this
of
colour with like
Scooby-Doo.
patterns on it.
Following the clues.
Yeah, there was like drips. It looked like black on the carpet. It was like this colour carpet with like red patterns on it. It's quite a nice carpet, actually. But between,
noted.
the carpet, streaks on the wall, the railings, I made my way back down these corridors to this room. And outside, the blood stopped. And as I went to, I recognised where I was then. Like, I was like, I knew, like, this is my room here. And as I went to knock, I noticed next to each room, it had like a plaque with a number on, like 356, whatever, like perspex, like raised out of the wall. Mine was smashed, right? And I realized that that's where it came from, right? So I'm in panic mode here, and I knock on the door. Long story short, my friend opens the door, says, what the fuck, you flipped out. Funnily enough, he had one of these mammoths in the room, blah, blah, blah. But long story short, I got on a bunk and went to sleep. But that is one of those what could have happened drunk stories. Mm-hmm. Imagine that, mate. Front of the boat.
That sounds fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
You blew mine out of the water there.
Yeah, that was a scary drunk moment.
Yeah. You hear horror stories though, like about like students and stuff like that where it goes wrong and they're like, you find them like, whether it's been like the Tyne or something like that, they've fell in the river or something. Like, you know, when you're vulnerable, you end up on your own or isolated in that kind of situation. Like, things can go really fucked up and people aren't there to support you. You're just out there on your own.
Yeah.
It can go really dark.
Oh, I shit myself.
So, like,
thinking of that.
Yeah.
What if you just fell over the edge of that boat? Mm-hmm. You stupid boy.
Fuck.
Stupid boy.
But yeah, to that extent, when it comes to like drinking and stuff, like, yeah, I've got a bad relationship with it. I think a lot of people, and I see it with my brother and stuff, they have like the mechanism in them to like know when to stop.
Yeah, I noticed that with people. I'm so jealous.
I don't have that.
No.
I'll just keep going. As long as the night continues, and if I don't have a drink in my hand, I'm on my way looking for my next drink.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I do it. And
You don't know when to stop.
I don't know when to stop. And that's the reason why I've been toying with the idea of like, look, maybe not putting myself in that situation in the first place is how to know when to stop, because I never start in the first place, you know? And I would wish I could do that, and I wish I could say that I would be comfortable with it. But having been on nights out where you're in that social situation and everyone else is having a drink and you're not, it ain't that fun, man.
No.
Like, I feel like my tolerance for people goes way down.
Yeah.
And then I also like, I feel like when I drink, and this is probably a bad thing more than a good thing, it gives us confidence. Like, I'm a lot more comfortable opening up and having proper conversations with people than I am when I'm sober. And I think it's because the overthinking stops. You know, we talk a lot about overthinking, but like, you ever like, even like in a casual conversation, have you ever had like a conversation with somebody and in the back of your mind, all you're thinking is, this person doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that.
I'm having this conversation, but they're only having this conversation because I started it. They don't really want to talk to us. They want to talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
That is in my mind when I'm sober, and it goes when I'm drunk.
Right.
And then I think about when I sober up the next day, but that's anxiety. That's a
That just, yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's the whole,
yeah,
the anxiety of the come down, I guess.
yeah. It's a mad thing.
I mean, they call it Dutch courage. That's what they're saying. Is that what Dutch courage is? Like,
I
drink
guess
courage?
so, but I always associate Dutch courage with trying to like be comfortable if you're trying to chat up a person or like put yourself out your comfort zone, not just using it for casual conversation.
Isn't that the
Sounds
same
mad.
thing? Like, to me,
Yeah, Dutch courage is strength or confidence gained from drinking alcohol.
Then yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I mean, I think,
100%.
in my opinion, no, I might not be right, but to me, Dutch courage would come under umbrella of like, when you're drunk, you think you're rock hard, you'll fight anyone. That's something that some people do.
Yeah.
Luckily, I've never really had that.
No.
Again, confidence, yes. Speaking to girls, you wouldn't do that sober, but you will when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Strangers you've just met, people, your friends, like you say, you're just more ready to go,
Yeah.
Conversationally. But that might not always be a good thing, because like you say, the next day, when you think about the things you said and like, again, that wouldn't really be what you would do. Sometimes it can go well, if you've pulled, I guess that would go well. But if you've ended up in a fight or upsetting somebody, or just not even that, like looking back,
Yeah, sometimes it's not even that.
and
I
just thinking,
get it,
well, why did I say that?
Yeah,
Like, that's embarrassing.
yeah, exactly.
Like, you've been a bit of a show off, a bit loud, a bit boisterous or whatever, and it wouldn't necessarily be how you would want to carry yourself.
Yeah, I'm always told that I'm a very happy drunk. Like
I've heard.
I'm always very just like I'm in a good place, and I'm very cheery
I can
and
verify
caring
that.
and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I've heard.
rather than going down like the angry route where I'm like a real annoyance or anything like that. I think I'm in a good place normally, but the anxiety really gets us like the next
Does it?
day. Yeah, always just attacks us. Like
I share that with you. They don't know when to stop. That's was always my problem. And again, most people I went around with knew when to stop.
yeah,
They could have a nice night, drinks, coke, whatever they were doing. But at the end of the night, no problem. At the end of the story, they'll go home, they'll go to sleep. They'll nurse the hangover tomorrow. No social anxiety other than maybe a bit of embarrassment, but nothing major. You know what I mean? And I guess at first, I was jealous of that, thinking, why doesn't that happen to me? Why do I always have to be the one that doesn't know when to stop and takes it too far, and ends up on his own, in his own kitchen, in a, God knows, in a right state, going around the clock, talking to the borrowers down the plug hole. Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to get in absolute states, mate, like proper states, like really weird. And I used to be jealous. I used to think, God, it's not fair. Like, if only I could just know the switch. But in a way, Johnny, rethinking about that, is it not a blessing that we can't? And what I mean by that is, as you've said, and I have taken that step, which is that because we know what happens when we get drunk, I also share your bad come downs as well the next day.
Yeah.
My hangovers are just like 3-week long, end of the world stuff.
yeah. Like I don't get sick.
No,
Like I'm never sick.
Mine's
or I'm
all
never
upstairs.
It's all up here. It's
Same.
100%. Yeah.
Same. My body's fine, but up here I'm just boxed.
Yeah.
And I'm not right for weeks off it. But because we don't know when to stop, and because you wake up the next day with this hell, is what I can describe it, does that not make us more prone to, and in some cases do, not drink, like eliminate it from our life because we know of the downside?
Yeah.
And I started this conversation by saying like, oh, my friends, they had a good time, they had a mint party, and a part of you is sad that like I didn't go and join them for one reason, because I knew that I won't go there and not drink and get off it. I'll go there and go the whole hog, get absolutely spannered, and be still stood in my kitchen at 9 o'clock the next morning on my own, I might add, still going while they've all been to sleep.
Yeah.
Is it not a blessing that is the case, because it basically pushes back the other way and makes you're thinking about just completely calling it like a day completely?
Yeah.
I have. Downside, you miss out on social events, but is it not actually a blessing in disguise?
Well, you don't miss out on social events if you still go to them. That's the thing.
But part of knowing...
That would be if I ever made the decision to go teetotal, I would still go to those events.
Would you?
I would. I think so.
Well, that means you obviously trust your self-control, I would say.
No, because I haven't made the decision to go teetotal yet.
No, you haven't. No, this is true.
And, you know, thinking about it now, I don't know if I could make that step.
No.
I really don't.
Too much.
I can just see myself in the situations and my mates when they have a drink and stuff, some of the funny shit that they end up doing. Like, I feel like I'd be like missing out.
This is true.
I feel like I'd be, what's the word, like incapacitated by not having had a drink.
It's
like,
true.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but the most fun times I've ever had in my life were all drunk.
Yeah.
Like bar none. I could count dozens of them, dozens of situations that were memories I'll share for the rest of my life. Like, and I'm so happy that I was there at that time and that messed up. But phenomenal memories.
Yeah.
Phenomenal memories.
100%.
But
it's just because of the sad few memories that I've got where I have took it too far, which is probably 50-50 at this point, to be honest. I've done a lot of bad. Like, I give you one example there that night when I kicked the door in, but
there's more.
There's a lot, yeah.
And I guess if you are going to call it a day or decide to, then you have to sort of accept that you're saying goodbye to those as well. Because those, not saying you'll never have fun again. Jesus, you can have fun sober. Of course you can.
Yeah, of course.
But those situations, you have to say bye to them.
You do.
Because they can't happen.
No.
Is what it is.
Weird. Yeah.
I guess it's, if you have a good relationship, I know a lot of people that do. Most people do. Great, it's never going to be a problem for you. But if you're... I've
been thinking of a strategy actually for it.
Go on, let's see the strategy.
I was like thinking because, I mean, this was very recent where I've had one of these nights fairly like last, let's say June, where I lost my mind, have no memory of a lot of that night. And my idea afterwards was like, right, now on, I'm going to have one drink, one water, one drink, one water, and go that way. And just see if I can like pace it out, spread it out that way. So I think I'd still get like the buzz of drinking, but I think I would stop myself from taking it too far because I think it would take us run the clock basically on the water.
Have you tried that tactic yet?
I haven't. I need to.
I can't say I know it doesn't work because I haven't tried it, but I think it wouldn't work.
You think it wouldn't work?
I think you'd start off with good intentions.
I think I'd forget.
Yeah. I think you'd think...
Well, the other thing in my mind was I was thinking, but yeah, all right, I could do that. So if I go for my first pint and then I'm thinking, I'll probably, in my mind, I'll be like, what if I give myself a running start? So I'll get a second pint and then I'll go on the water. And then I'll think, I'll have a third one and then I'll go on the water. And then the water never happens.
No. I think you would do drink water, drink, drink. That's what I think would happen. To be fair.
Potentially.
You're going to get third down and think, drink no fucking water.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Or, you know, I move on to heavier stuff and then once people start handing out shots and stuff like that, the water kind of becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. I mean, with all the best will in the world, you could drink pints of water, but once the shots start, like...
Yeah, once you're 5 shots of vodka down, you're fucked.
May I go for a wee?
You may go for a wee, sir.
I didn't last long, did I?
You didn't.
I drink a lot.
How long have we been running?
56 minutes.
I'll be back.
Nearly the hour, mate. Nearly the hour.
Nearly the hour.
Yeah, I was just saying there at Southport that, like, I've always had, like, a retirement age in my head. I don't mean from work. I mean from the lifestyle. I blew my nose on this, just so you know. I had a retirement age in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you
I just realised there was a snot rag on the table.
Oh, right, okay.
That's not good, is it? But anyway.
Cute.
Yeah. I always, in my head, through my, like, 20s and 30s, you know, when I was partying.
Yeah.
Like partying, drinking, girls, drugs, etc., etc. I always had like a retirement age in my head. And I always said it would be when I'm 39, that's when I'm going to retire myself before it retires me.
Right.
What I mean by that is you don't want to be the old guy in the club. You don't want to be the old guy chasing the young girls around because that's just weird. It's not a good look.
Yeah,
you know?
Leonardo DiCaprio needs to have...
Yeah.
Have a
Listen,
sit down
all
and talk
power
to
to him.
somebody.
Good for him. You know, I think I think the dynamic changes a bit if you're like a billionaire, like whatever. But I always said at 39 I was going to pack it in and just be sensible, get married, have
Settle
kids.
down.
Yeah, just do that shit. But organically, like naturally on its own, the drink and the drugs happened without me having to force it. When I was in my 20s, I didn't see that coming, but due to like the downside of the drink and the drugs, of like the come downs basically, and the next days, let's say, that happened on its own. That I'm telling you, there'll be a lot of people that'll be struggling with that. A lot of people will be like in that same world
Where
of
you're
like
struggling to like move your life forward kind of thing. 'Cause of all of that.
Yeah. His Southpaw was just saying there that like he wants to, or he's thought about quitting drinking and stuff, but he's 23. You know, that's quite young to pack that lifestyle in. But look, if you're happy, you know, with your woman and she's the one that you want, then why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to stop. I think I very much still enjoy the going out and the...
Do you put yourself in positions where do you kind of feel like you know when to stop when you're having a drink?
No, I think I'm similar to you both. I think I mean, that awards night showed for me and you, Johnny. We had a dash.
What happened on the awards night?
We had a dash awards night, and me and Johnny were like two. It's like two demons came out of us. We were like at the.
I'll tell you what happened. Right, there was a Pim's caravan at this fucking awards show in the corner of this room.
A was caravan?
Pim's.
Big Pim's caravan.
Oh, the drink Pim's.
Which is and they were selling cocktails, and Coty gives a nudge. He's like, "Should we go and get a couple of espresso martinis?"
Love
and
that.
It's like, yes, we should. And it was fucking expensive as well. It was
I
like,
think it was £15 for like a triple espresso martini. So you got 3 espresso
it
martinis.
was like a pint of espresso
My
martini.
God.
Or you could just get one for like £8. So I was like, let's just get 3.
Let's go
And then I
fucking
said,
large.
you know what? Because it was like, I was new to Dash at the time. I was like, I'm going to get Reese one as well, mate. So I spent about... No, we went rounds, didn't we? We went rounds. So I spent about 45 bar on 3 pints of espresso martini.
Yeah.
Walked over to Reese, like the boy. I was like, there you go, mate. You enjoy that. And he necked it before I could even blink.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Some boy.
But yeah, I don't have that stop. But equally, I'm at the age where like, I don't have an issue with drinking, but I know it's holding me back. I know I could probably be...
It's holding you back. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Why is it holding you back? In what way?
I love all that fitness stuff. I love walks now with her. I love, just doing normal stuff. And I go too far with the bevs, and then I wake up the next day and I feel shit, and then it's like you've written off half of that day. I know I'm wasting time with the drink. But
How long do your hangovers last for? More than a day?
Probably half a day, and then I'm like, I need to go and do something. Like I need to go and sauna and steam, or I need to go for a long walk. I need to like do something, and then I feel better. If I just sit in my room and like just in the darkness.
I think you should set yourself a date. I know it's just because I'm biased, because that was my tactic. I think you should set yourself like an age. Like,
Why 39?
why did I pick 39?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
38.
Okay.
I think, to tell you the truth, because I was quite late when I made the decision. I think I made the decision in my late 20s, and like, wanted to buy some time, you know what I mean?
So you've had this plan for a while.
Oh yeah. People who know me and are close to me, they'll vouch that I've always said
39.
39's my year. That's when I surrender. That's when I bow out,
Yeah.
I retire from that side of life, Obviously, when you're making that promise to yourself, when you're 29, 30-year-old, you're like, it's a lifetime away.
No, that's around the corner here a bit.
At 38 and a half, you're thinking, I came around quick. Yeah. But I'm all ready for it now.
You committed for it.
I'm ready for it now, because I'm not the person I was at 31, 32. 31, 32, I was wilder, I was definitely still drinking, like a lot. I was definitely taking drugs. And yeah, I was enjoying it a lot. There was a lot more activity them years, It was just, I couldn't, to be honest, I knew I would, like when I retire, stop, if you know what I mean. I knew I would at 39, but it just seemed so far away, and I always thought, to be honest, I was right, because I used to think, yeah, you can't imagine you stopping now at 31 and 30 and 29, obviously, but you're going to feel different when you're 39. So it'll be different. It won't be like you're giving up a lot of stuff. And you know what? For the most part, it actually did. And it just happened on its own. Granted, it hasn't been like a natural, like graceful bowing out of just like, oh, it's just not something I'm interested in anymore. Like, it hasn't been like that. It's been because I've been to the depths of hell, because I have been to the darkest, deepest places ever due to these things, that
you're ready to give it all up.
Well, I've given it all up, but it wasn't out of grace, and it wasn't out of, like, I'll bow out now. It's fear. It's straight, gut-wrenching, horrifying, keep you awake at night, nightmarish memory fears of what you've done, what you would do. Yeah. Didn't see it that way. I didn't think that's how it would have gone, but it happened. I suppose that's a lesson in life.
Well, it's part of growing up, I think, isn't it? When you learn from your mistakes and stuff. And, some of them might have been fairly dark mistakes.
Oh, yeah. Like, mate, I've got some things I couldn't even talk about on here.
Yeah. Oh, hell.
Oh, dearie me, mate.
There's been a murder.
There's been some things, my friends.
Do you think on that last day of 38, of being 38, you're going to just go mad one last time?
Absolutely not. I might have, and I'd like one more big trip. I'm not interested in drugs anymore, right? And for the most part, I don't want to drink, right? Because drink always leads to drugs.
Yeah.
When I'm in, it's very different drinking abroad to drinking in England. When I'm in Darlington, around my group of friends, and drink starts, it always leads to cocaine, right? And that's where the problem arises. I'll go back 15 years before cocaine was a thing. I used to have some good nights. Go out, get drunk, fall asleep because you drank too much, wake up, feel like shit. Half a day later, takeaway down your neck, no problem. Laugh, joke with your friends, class last night, wasn't it? That's what going out used to be like. Cocaine spoiled all that, and it changed everything. Cocaine made it not happen like that.
Go on.
What happens now?
I've never had cocaine, so
No. Again, some people have very good relationships with it, so what I'm about to say isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
But something with my personality and something with whatever chemistry I've got going on in my head, could be addictive, could be, obsessive, I don't know. But I would go out, get drunk, the cocaine would start, everybody would go home, but I wouldn't. And I would end up becoming a bit of a Gollum character, like, my precious. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I would end up back on my own, which is how I liked it, ordering loads more of it, hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of it, and staying up all morning, all the next day, all into the next night, just getting more and more and more out of it. And it changes you.
Yeah, man.
And you end up in a right state. I mean, right state. How I didn't have a heart attack or do something ridiculous, I don't know. By the grace of God, let's just say. But that's how it ended up.
Wow.
Yeah, it ended up, and it wouldn't be very often. It wouldn't be all the time. It would only end up 3 or 4 times a year. Then it went to twice a year. Then it would be once a year. So in recent years, the last time was a year or 2 ago that something like this happened. And I think it was a year before since it had happened, like the last time. But it always ends the same way. And a lot of people who are my friends, they'll know, like, that wasn't the case for all of my friends. That was just me. Like, they'd all go out and we'd all, like, end up back at, somebody's house, a kitchen, like, yeah. There'd be, lines going down and stuff like this. But
they all had that mechanism to, like, the night's over.
When the sun comes up, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
And they all would. Not me.
Yeah.
Not me.
That's where it sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why I knew I was, whatever chemistry's in my head was different to everybody else's. And because my nights would be so extreme and the next day compared to everybody else's, therefore my after effects were worse, and therefore the mental torture was worse.
Yeah.
Everything was worse. So that's led me to, like, I'm now terrified. I'm just terrified of putting myself in that situation. You said you'd go somewhere and stay sober. That's why, because I know I won't. So I just avoid
You
it.
don't put yourself in the
Nope.
position anymore.
Nope.
I get it.
Yeah, because I know what'll happen. I won't not do it. I know what'll happen.
It's good that you've got that mechanism now, though, to say don't put yourself in that situation. It's sad that it has to be that way.
Or is it? Because let me
the
tell you something
alternative
else.
would be you wouldn't even you could go on the night out and not touch the coke.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story about it. Well, not a story, but a little fact. I know certain people in my life that I'm close to, and some of these very friends I'm talking about, they're still doing this, having this good relationship, if that's what you want to call it. They can, have a drink, sniff cocaine, blah, 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 put themselves to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, no problemo. But they're still doing it. And they have no intention of stopping,
Yeah.
So won't they just carry on forever? I know people that are now 10 years older than me, still living that life. Having drinks, might just be on a weekend, might be a couple of times
I'm
during the
assuming
week.
when they do that, they're not like settled down with a family or anything like that at the same time.
I know a variety of people. I know some people that are living with the girlfriends. I know some people that are engaged. I know some people that are married with kids, and they still do this. They have what you would call a healthy relationship with it, in that it's not ruining their life.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's affecting their life, but it's not ruining their life per se. It's their release, they would call it.
I think it comes down to what you want out of life.
True.
Really. Like, so for example, those nights where, they've got a healthy relationship with cocaine, I bet they probably come away thinking, oh, I had a fucking great night. And they've got all these memories, this compilation of amazing memories and great times that they've had. And that might be when they get to the fucking pearly gates at the end, that might be them looking back on life and thinking, yeah, time well spent. I did good there. I'm really glad that I spent my life doing that. On the other hand, someone like yourself who goes through the ringer, has these 4-day benders, you might, if you kept that going past the age of 39 and you still do that, you'll get to the pearly gates at the end and you'll look back and think, fucking hell, I wasted my life on these 4-day benders.
You'll get there a lot quicker as well.
Well, yeah. This is true. There is that as well. Which again, it comes down to preference as well, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Some people would rather die at 50 than die at 80 and having lived the extra 30 years.
Well, there's a great saying that my mum once sent me, that it's better to live for a day as a lion than to live the lifetime as a sheep.
There's that. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It comes down to what you want out of life. And if you want to get to the end of your life and look back and think, oh, I've got this amazing family around us, I've raised some great kids, they're going to go and live on and create generations of more kids. And it's,
isn't that what we all want?
I think that's what you would want.
That's
what I want.
I think that's what I want too.
Yeah.
I think when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 39 was always going to be the retirement age.
Where you start to think about putting that sort of stuff into action, I guess.
Well, yeah, 100%. At 39, I always promise myself that I'm going to, whether I like it or not, because obviously, I say it, 10 years ago, I couldn't understand where I would be at 38. The only sort of point of reference I had to go off was how I felt then. So in my head, it was like, oh, you're having a mint time. But when it comes to 38, you'll think, okay, I've had a good innings there, loads of party, loads of fun, and let's just bow out, sir. Let's just bow out gracefully, and I make the decision. This is me retiring gracefully. Like a champion that retires as a champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the way I see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Retire as the king.
David Beckham retiring from football.
One of them. But I didn't. But it's actually happened organically. Whereas, again, not exactly as I planned it, but.
It's probably the best way, let's be honest, because you wouldn't want to be doing it, and then having to get to the 39th birthday and be like, oh, I've got to stop doing this now. At least in this way, because it's a natural kind of, you've got to that point yourself.
But all that bad stuff I told you about, like the cocaine and the downside of it, that only ever happened in Darlington. That only ever happened here with these groups of people who I'm friends with here.
So when you were saying that it's different when you drink abroad and stuff like
Going
that.
abroad, it's just not even a thing. I mean, granted, okay, I went to Ibiza once. That was, obviously, that was like that. That's a story for a different day. But apart from Ibiza, all the other holidays I've been on with my friends, drugs never came into it. And there were damn good times.
Oh, yeah.
Damn good times. Drinking, seeing amazing countries, amazing places, with little to no after effect other than, oh, God, I got a headache the next day. But like you say, half a day later, it's gone. So they were always good. And that's the thing now, being only 9 months away from the official retirement age of 39, that's the thing I'll miss. Like, as far as I'm concerned, like, they're gone now. These big, I've told you about my trips to Brazil and Cuba and stuff like this. These monumental, these amazing things. Drug-free, I might add. And at this age now, like, yeah, I'm ready. And I'm ready for 39. And I'm ready for, okay, I'm going to build my life now. You've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's time to look for the next 20 years. And where do you want to be by the time you're 60? I want to have had kids. I want them to be older. I want to have ticked that box, completed it. Jobs are good. And possibly then the Route 66,
Yeah.
After that, that'll be the 60 to 80. That'll be the last bit of that. But I would love one more holiday. I'd love one more trip.
One last blowout.
Yeah. Again, yes, I would drink on that holiday. I would get drunk because it comes with it. It's part of the show. There would be no drugs. I don't see one on the agenda. But if one came up before that 39th birthday,
yeah,
if
it might be like them stories that you've told us in the past where you don't really know the day when it's coming. It just happens. And you're like, that was it.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'd take one.
You need your swan song.
Yeah. One more. The last dance, let's call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last dance. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. But if you don't get it, when you get to 39,
no problemo.
no problem.
No problemo. I got enough,
You've done it.
There could be the thing that, like, you could build up to that very last one and it might not be
which is often the
what
case.
which is probably what would happen. I could go out on my way and really push and actually create one myself and go on this magical adventure like traveling South America or something, and might not be as you've got in your head. It often isn't.
It's true.
Is it?
I guess not. And yeah, it might even be like the lesson that you needed, the thing that really hits it home why you're stopping altogether.
That is actually a really good point. I never thought of it that way. Maybe you need to go on one of these and it feel hollow. Maybe you need to have one more and just think, I don't want this.
You get there and you realize,
I don't want
this
this.
isn't actually me anymore.
Yeah.
And it feels like the end of a sitcom when they flick the lights and they're out the room.
To be honest, the last time I went to Brazil, that kind of happened. My friend was all up for drinking, let's go out clubbing, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I went through the motions, but the whole time I didn't want to be there. The whole time. I did not want to be there. I was making, one of the nights, like, I made an excuse. Like, he wasn't sure. He's got a young kid, you know what I mean? A baby and stuff, and a missus. So we weren't sure whether he could or couldn't. He was, I'll let you know. I was back at the place. And like 5 o'clock come, 6 o'clock come, and like I was expecting this phone call or text to him to say yes or no. And I was like, oh, please no. Like I just couldn't be bothered with it. And when it came, I said, oh, what do you want to do? Oh, no. I use it as an excuse, You spend your time with your lass, we can do it tomorrow. I was so glad to not, to escape it. But yeah, we'll see. 39, that's the year. It's retirement age. You got a retirement age or not?
Never thought about it until you brought it up there, and I don't know.
No.
I want to see how this water in between drinks thing works out.
Yeah, give that
first.
tactic a go.
If I can get a healthy relationship doing that, then no retirement for me. I'll just keep going with that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't think that'll work, Johnny, but
no, probably not.
I wish you luck, sir.
Thank you.
So we want to, something we want to talk about is guilty pleasures. So this is something Southpaw brought up. I immediately know mine is food. It's nasty, fatty, sweet food.
Sweet food.
Yeah. I'm a fat person, like inside, Deep in my core is a greedy bastard. That's what's deep down inside of me. A fat, gluttonous pig. Yeah, really, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I love bad food. It's so good.
You got a sweet tooth?
Yeah.
Like cake and that. That's your thing.
Yeah. But I don't eat it now. But there isn't a day goes by I don't see you eating your peach Melba and just want to eat it. I'd eat it out your mouth like a baby bird. You know what I mean?
You should have let me know, man.
Yeah, I would. That's where I'm at. You could stick it in my mouth and I'd eat that peach Melba.
Wow.
Yeah, kinky.
Maybe later on.
But food is my guilty pleasure, I'm afraid. What is yours?
Don't know.
You don't have one?
No. You know what? My thing with guilty pleasures is I make a point of being me. So like if I wouldn't call anything that I'm like a guilty pleasure something that like you don't want people to really know about.
You're not guilty about it.
I'm just like, yeah, like, you know, you could say, oh, fucking like Star Wars is my guilty pleasure. I'm a massive closeted nerd, but I'm not. I'm quite open about it. I fucking love Star Wars.
You do love Star Wars.
Yeah, I still play Pokemon Go. That's not a guilty pleasure because I don't feel guilty about it. I fucking love it.
So you don't have a guilty pleasure?
I don't think so.
Do you have a pleasure?
I have lots of pleasures.
I bet. Guilty.
Yeah. I mean, I like a lot of things, you know? We can talk Pokemon, we can talk Star Wars, we can talk My Chemical Romance. That's quite an unhealthy one. Yeah, hell of a lot, but I wouldn't say I'm guilty about it. I'm just, I like what I like.
I've never heard anybody say it that way before. Like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But then you're not guilty about any of them.
Oh, no.
No. I suppose I am. Like, the food one, is this guilty? Or is this one that you just know is unhealthy? So I have a very sweet tooth. I love cakes. I love chocolate. I love anything. Most things that are bad for you I like.
Yeah.
Like I want to eat fish and chips and KFC every day and, you know, pizzas. But I don't because I know it's bad for me. And I know it's going to affect me negatively. So that's why I don't. Not because I feel guilty, but that's why I don't.
Yeah.
So is that a guilty pleasure?
Well, I suppose because you don't actually partake in the pleasure because you don't eat it. So it's like,
So it's not a guilty pleasure?
maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it is because you think about it.
Well, I suppose my guilty pleasure in that case would be cigarettes. Because I feel guilty about it. It embarrasses me that I smoke. I'm ashamed that I smoke. And I know it's damaging me.
Yeah.
So that is my guilty pleasure, is cigarettes.
You consider yourself embarrassed by it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. Like, it's so embarrassing. It's horrible. What a horrible thing to do.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
So I think guilty pleasure is defined a little bit lighter than we're looking at it. So it's something such as a film, a television program, a piece of music that one enjoys despite feeling that it is not generally held in high regard. So that's what mine was. Mine was a Dua Lipa. Like, and it's not just the fact that it's not just like she's obviously drop dead gorgeous.
Well,
it's actually I do like her music. Like,
Yeah, but I wouldn't say
like,
that.
And like, it's not in it for I'm a lad's lad. It's probably not held in high regard that I proper like. I do fanboy about little Dua Lipa. Like,
I don't bump into that so much because I think Dua Lipa, to a certain extent, for all I'm like the whitest guy on the planet, I think that's still quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Like
think
compared
so.
to like if you were like saying like, oh, I fucking love High School Musical. Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know, you drive home and you stick that on and you're going, we're all in this together. Like, that would be a guilty pleasure. That would be, because that would be
well,
full-blown
I don't know.
embarrassment.
I've just drove with the lass in the car before, and like it's on my cool like chills playlist, and it's like I've got all my cool rap songs on there, and then
Poster on the wall and that.
and then like Dua Lipa just pops up, and I'm like proper singing my head off. So there you go. That's what I mean, Daniel. That's my sort of
listen, when you're driving home on your own, listen, I'll play Elton John. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You know, I'll have a cry. You know what I mean?
I know, mate. I know. But
time and a place,
anyway,
mate.
there you go. So
Well, my guilty pleasure is going to knock yours clean out the car park because
Yeah.
you've just made me think. And it would be anyone who knows me knows the answer to this. But I'm not guilty about it because I'm proud of it. But a lot of people would look and think, huh? My favourite movie.
The Godfather.
No.
Finding Nemo.
You listen.
Shrek 2.
I could give you all 1,000 guesses, and you wouldn't be anywhere near it. My favourite movies are Magic Mike, hands down.
Magic Mike.
You're joking.
2, 1, and 3 in that order.
Right.
Oh, you've talked about it.
What,
this
2 being the
before.
best?
Huh?
2 being your favourite.
2 being the best. Big
Right.
Dick Rich. You know what I mean?
I've got no reference point on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, people who know me well know my obsession with Magic Mike.
Why?
Interesting.
Why? It's like
Magic Mike changed my life. Magic Mike, that film changed my life.
Because are you like, what's how
What,
I will
did-
go? Like, you're aspiring to be like one of the people in.
I guess
I've never
so.
seen it, but I've seen
You've
I've
never seen it?
No, I've never seen.
Oh, dear me.
neither have I.
Well, I think I get to the extent it's kind of like the Chippendales kind of thing where they're like proper like.
That's basically
ripped
what they are.
fucking
They're
men,
the
yeah.
dancers, the strippers.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they are.
Yeah.
It probably changed, like literally off the back of watching Magic Mike for the first time. I started going to the gym, like literally the day after. Like that was it. It just literally just blew my mind. Just recalibrated like everything.
When was the first time that you watched Magic Mike? Did you sit down and just watch it on your own?
No, I was with somebody.
Okay.
But I think it was 30? Yeah, 30. Well, I don't know if it was the day after, but literally that was the turning point. That's what wanted me to get in shape.
Did you watch it with a woman or?
No, I watched it with...
So was this when the gym started for you, really?
The gym started off the back of that.
Wow.
Yeah. That reprogrammed me. Listen, I'm sure, again, you get some brain person to like look into this. It could be totally for the wrong reasons. But of course, it was... I looked at these people and I thought to myself, this is what girls like, you know? Yeah. And my stupid, naive young brain just thought, you need to be one of them. That's what you need to do, you know? Yeah, Magic Mike, and it just completely reprogrammed everything. Like, just realized, look, there's different sides to it. Like, of course, there is the side to it where, like, females, for the most part, find that desirable. Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but a lot do. That sort of thing. And it's also like, I don't know, like I liked the film, so taking me out of the equation, I liked the film in that through that, like, you know, Chip and Daly, like sexy girl screaming type movie, there was actually a message in it. And like, I took a message away from it, and it isn't just about the movies. I guess it's about male strippers on the whole. Like, it's nice that, you know, like, a lot of people who'll see male strippers will be like older women and stuff like that. But it's nice that they get made to feel sexy again, you know? Mm-hmm. So like in the third movie, that's one of the things that happens. Oh, Matthew McConaughey's in it too. He's great. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, great film. Hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious as well. But yeah, I don't know. A lot went on in my head when I watched this film. Yeah, and I got obsessed.
It's interesting. It's the whole uses and gratifications thing, isn't it? Where, you know, women will watch it because they find the men really attractive. And you've obviously got taken away a completely different message to that meaning, which is
Magic Mike 3.
You look at that and you think, I want to be like them.
Magic Mike 3, like, I dragged the lady to the cinema to watch this. Like, they didn't want to go, like, they weren't too arsed. It was me that dragged them kicking and screaming, you know?
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, Magic Mike. I mean, listen, Magic Mike knows what he's doing, you know?
That is a guilty pleasure, my friend.
That's a guilty pleasure, I guess.
And
yeah. I won't go into it too much further than that. I'll leave it there. But yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah, it completely recalibrated how I looked at things. And for the most part,
it's not even like a guilty pleasure. That's going beyond us, like saying that, like, that had a strong influence on you. That's like,
it completely reshaped my life.
Yeah.
Listen, this morning I did a workout, and it's that guy's workout. It's Joe Mangalang. What's his name? Joe what?
Joe
Manga.
I don't know.
This guy here. See this here? The bottom left corner. No, the guy on the left. Him with the long hair. Him to the left. This guy. Yeah. He is called Joe somebody. Again, anybody that knows me knows my obsession with this guy.
I think I've seen him he's in Sons of Anarchy, isn't he?
Some shit. He's been in a few things. He plays Big Dick Rich. Basically, that's his character in the movie. Yeah, but it's fucking brilliant. Have you never seen the Backstreet Boys thing where how much for the Cheetos and water?
Nope.
Oh, well, we'll get this on. This would be good. People who know me, right, will know how obsessed I am with this, but you've got to watch the whole movie for the context of it. Get this turned up, right? And watch. Remember what I told you about, like, about girls who wouldn't necessarily get what's the word, like, sexual interest from really hot guys. They're off it on pills here, by the way. There'll be people now who know me well will be laughing their ass over this because
you're obsessed with this clip.
Yeah, this is my song. This is my jam, man. There's an element of comedy in it too, but there's a message in it.
Oh my god. What the hell am I watching, man?
Mate, there's a message in that. There's a message in that. He made her happy.
I did.
Do you know what I mean?
I did.
That's the end of it. That's the scene. Gentlemen, Magic Mike.
Right.
Okay.
Listen, powerful shit, man. Powerful shit. Yeah, Magic Mike. That's what it was all about.
What the fuck?
So it completely recalibrated my head. And still to this day, I'm still doing that
Your takeaway
workout.
from that was I'm going to hit the gym.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's literally what it was. And I did. And I did. I hit the gym.
And when you go and buy Cheetos and water, you...
I don't like Cheetos. I don't drink much water either.
No.
No.
No. When you go and buy your Red Bulls from the shop, though, you're thinking, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this can. I'm going to try and
What,
get it
you
for
think
free.
I haven't done them dances on my own when no one's in the flat?
Yeah, you fucking have.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. I've practiced that
He
shit.
knows the full scene.
I absolutely know every scene. I know every dance. You know what I mean?
We should get. This
Listen.
could be one of your reels, Louis. I'll be the cashier.
Gentlemen, I live alone. That's all I'm saying. Remember that. I live alone. You know?
Oh, that's pretty.
Listen, Johnny, one day when the cameras are off, you sit on that chair, mate. I'll show you some stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, a little something. You'll get a twitch, mate. Watch.
Right.
I'm telling you. I'll make you blush, mate. Listen, no jokes, mate.
Pretty.
Look, say what you will, right? I think it's a healthy thing to be interested in
Yeah.
because listen, listen, that's nice. That's a nice thing. These male entertainers, they make women happy, right? Mm-hmm. For the most part, there's no sex in it. For the most part, it's just entertainment.
Yeah.
They get to go watch these dancers with admirable bodies, and it's all lighthearted. Like in this, it's not no one's fucking anybody or anything. It's all lighthearted. You know what I mean? These are aging strippers that are trying to have one more go at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good story. Like
the full Monty, but they're a little bit better
basically,
at it.
yeah. Like a Hollywood version of it. Yeah, basically. But it's all for entertainment, and at the end, what's the actual end thing? There's a load of females that, from all ages and all thingies, enjoying it, smiling, cheering. They had a great time, and everybody's happy. What's not to like about that? You know what I mean?
Guess so.
And they do look shit hot as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got the moves.
I can see the appeal of people.
Yeah, well, listen, it certainly appealed to me,
I'm happy for you, man.
Funnily enough, like I've been to see this with female. I've watched them all with like females and stuff in the past, and it seems that I'm more interested than they are. That's the thing.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't do it for the females I watched it with. Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go.
Because
that kind of man isn't necessarily desirable to all people because people have different tastes and stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, people are into the dad bod now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm appealable. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You dad bodded.
Oh, it's fucking, yeah.
Is it? I like that. Yeah, the dad bod. Listen, I've seen some dad bods that are very sexy. Just depends what it's on, right?
Damn fucking right.
Damn fucking right. The dad bod.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't take it too far, though, could you? You don't want to be a monstrosity.
No.
But no.
No, you don't.
I suppose it's all in context of what the person is, I once heard somebody tell me, I asked them about this, right? It was, funnily enough, it was a Magic Mike type based conversation. And the person I was speaking to was telling me that, listen, I can see that they're attractive guys, but that doesn't really hit my switch, right? So that isn't really what gets me going. I said, well, like, why? That's the pinnacle of male masculinity. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're built like Adonis, like, obviously they can dance and move and say, you know what I mean? Like you can sort of translate that into like, you're gonna know what you're doing.
What's
do you know what
the
I mean?
alternative? Yeah.
Yeah, and this person said to me, and this person will be watching this, I think, at some point. This person said to me, it's a man pushing a pushchair. And I was like, huh. And I said, what, that's the most sexy male thing? And the person said, oh yeah, that's the most sexy thing. A man pushing a pushchair. And I asked why. And it's basically, you know, you can imagine it's like, this is a good dad. This is a good dad, probably a good husband. And everything that stands in line with that. And I don't agree with it. Do you know what I mean? But I can see where they're coming from because it shows this person's reliable, honourable, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's kind of what that might not be. It might be a complete psychopath.
It's like when people go after people like intellect rather than looks kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, that's, you know, to be fair.
What I go for when I see me play piano. Fuck yeah.
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 To be honest, that's sort of a natural transition. We've talked about transitions before. Things that used to inspire me, what I wanted to be, my mind has completely changed like, on its own in the past 12 months. Like I used to want to be like...
In the last 12 months?
In the last 12 months, it happened. Not like I didn't just wake up one day, but like I never used to think that being wise was of interest. But I think when I started hearing people like Jordan Peterson and people like him talking and the messages they're giving, and like, I guess number one, not being able to use the language he uses, but for the most part, not really understand half the words he's saying, know where he's going with it. And then obviously the knowledge and the wisdom and the brains and the intellect, like all of a sudden, that massively turns me on. Like not turns me on in a sexual way, but like, I so want to be that.
You see the value in it now.
Yeah, like I so wish, like, I don't want to be like, I'm not bothered if I'm the biggest and most good lookingest and most buffest. And if you asked me 5 years ago, that's what I cared about. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about brains.
Yeah.
But now, like, I do. Like, I want to be these people. I want to be able to sit and have conversations with the likes of Jordan Peterson, Russell Brand, these great thinkers. There's dozens of them, hundreds, millions of them. We could reel them off. Some famous, some not. But to be able to have those deep conversations about things that matter and things that are relevant and society and culture and you know, civilization and you know, we go on forever. That to me is like the pinnacle of what we should be striving to be. Because, you know, people, you've heard the whole, you know, knowledge is power type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Course.
Like, course. That's what I used to say, of course. It's true, like. It's true, like. You know? If you asked me, like, 5 years ago, do you want to be the richest man in the world or the wisest man in the world? I'd have said the richest man in the world. I've got a different answer now. I'd rather be the wisest man in the world. Yeah. I'd rather have ultimate knowledge and understanding than ultimate money. Yeah. Did I move you there, mate?
No, it's just...
Yeah, powerful words, right?
Well, I think the two coincide anyway. If you're going to be the wisest person in the world, eventually wealth is going to come your way.
Possibly.
If
Potentially, but I think if you're the wisest man in the world, the wealth probably doesn't matter to you.
Exactly. I was going to say that. The wisest man in the world, other than the money he needs to live and feed himself and clothe himself, other than that, I don't think he matters because...
Be comfortable in who you are and your place in the world.
Deep knowledge and deep wisdom will probably tell you that all that material shit don't matter in the grand scheme of it. Would you agree?
I think you'd be right in saying that, yeah.
And that's really, really, really got in my head in the last year. Not in like a split second, just it's like a natural process. But then you sit and, you know, you put yourself against Magic Mike. Obviously, I can't dance like Magic Mike, but yeah, I can tense up and get a six pack. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can move about a bit.
Me too, if the light hits in the right area.
Yeah. But like for the most part, it's like, yeah, listen, I can't dance like that. We don't look like them, but like, I can do like a 20% version of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then when I look at like Jordan Peterson, I'm like, man, you haven't even got 1%. Like, I ain't got 1% of that. And I'm like, you realize how far away you are. Like all of a sudden, it's like a big daunting feeling like, my friend, you are miles away. The past 20 years of your life, you wasted, fam. Like,
You say the same with intellect, though. At the same time, like, you can think, you know what? Like, I'd probably handle myself all right in these kind of conversations. And then you watch the House of Commons for 10 minutes, and then they're raffling off about things that you've got absolutely no comprehension of, and you're just like, oh shit, I'm a thick cunt as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't mind if I'm as knowledgeable as them. I just would like to be able to hold my own.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dream of speaking to someone like, Jordan Peterson or Russell. He would just shake his head and say like, oh, no. Like, you don't even know what's going on. Like, I mean, I was sitting Googling the night what nihilism is. He uses that word a lot, nihilism. I think it means like a bit of a Debbie Downer, basically, like to be nihilistic.
Be a nihilist.
Yeah. I mean, he talks about like some crazy shit, man.
So nihilism is the rejection of all religious and moral principles in the belief that
life is meaningless.
Yeah. That's a bit Debbie Downerish.
Yeah, it's a bit Debbie Downerish, isn't it? It seems to be a negative word. But yeah, man.
I would dabble in that area.
But yeah, man, like intellect, like the knowledge and wisdom and language. I mean, he talks about that. Like to be able to have a full vocabulary of like the full English language and know how to use words and when to use them. It's very underrated.
Oh, yeah. And
being from where I was from, I never understood the power of it. We have a way of speaking where I'm from, and it's not like that.
Yeah. But when you're in a room with somebody who's using like a broader vocabulary than you're like, oh, man.
Yeah, you're massively out of your depth.
Yeah. But it's also a similar way when you're watching Magic Mike. It's you can aspire for that, and you can think like, oh, it would be nice to be able to be like that.
To pull that out the back. Yeah, it would. Can I go for a wee again?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, caffeine's a bitch, man.
Caffeine pisses cool bob on you, huh?
Yeah. So nihilism.
Nihilism.
Well, not nihilism.
Being smart and being the smartest person in the room.
How good would that be?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Mm.
I guess it would be no point if you were the only one like that, because then like no one else can get on your level.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think you run the risk of them being a complete cunt if you're like, you're showing off with your broad vocabulary and everyone else is not on that level. You won't make many friends, I guess. But
look, I'm almost certain I certainly won't. I'm not, not putting you down, mate, but like you probably won't reach Jordan Peterson level of intellect and language as well. You might, but I'm pretty sure I won't. But I'd love to be able to speak like that and understand what they understand.
Yeah.
Mr. Trick.
I think so. But it's, part of the circumstances of where you're born and stuff like that. And I'm sure he had plenty of opportunities come his way through chance that allowed him to learn what he's learned.
Well, from what I understand, he wasn't from a great thinking family. He's Canadian, and he's from, what's that place called?
Oh, my Canadian geography knowledge again is lacking.
It's basically like quite far up, like a cold place. Do you know what I mean? And he wasn't from like a family of great thinkers. I mean, we're just talking about Jordan Peterson here.
Yeah.
We're just using him as an example.
Yeah.
But
broadly speaking, though, I think across smart people, for
the most part,
they've got the Cambridge education, the Harvards, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And as a result, they've had because they've had that opportunity to go there and learn from other great thinkers who teach there, they can reach higher heights than we ever will.
No, this is true. I suppose you can't.
I think you'd be putting yourself down too much to think that you can expect yourself to reach those levels.
Jordan Peterson can't dance like Magic Mike.
Nothing. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I bet he's sick.
Nothing wrong with aspiring to stuff, though.
No. Yeah, but that's certainly, man, my next sort of not accomplishment, my next target, not even target, I suppose, aspire, if that's the word, aspiration.
Just to
Yeah, I'd like to spend the next 20 years just becoming a little bit smarter. You know what I mean? I think reading books is a way. Read
Yeah, don't
books,
do it.
take in knowledge, listen to other people.
in a particular area. You just
Everything from
everything.
From psychology to history to arts to culture to fucking, wars to just everything and anything, as well as going forward, looking at technology and, AI, everything. I'd like a broad spectrum in everything.
Yeah.
So no, not one particular thing. No, just generally not thick, just a bit not thick.
Yeah.
A bit less thick, That's the
like
plan.
that.
I'd love that. Yeah, that excites me now. That turns me on now. All the things that used to turn me on now don't turn me on. They don't. Not interested anymore.
Part of growing up, that.
Is it?
I think so.
It's happened on its own. I haven't forced it. It forced me. I look at some of the things and I think, why aren't you bothered about that anymore? Why doesn't that
Give me an example.
sex?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I used to be a raging bull. Not even that long ago.
That is about maturing, though. I would imagine that your testosterone levels probably level out once you've passed your
Not mine, brother.
mid-20s or something.
Not mine, my friend. No.
Well,
No. Mine are through the roof. Artificially enhanced, of course. I've developed my own TRT treatment, hormone replacement therapy. So no, my testosterone levels will be extremely high.
yeah.
And you would think that would drive you on to be an absolute raging bull.
But it doesn't.
Nope. Not at all. And for the most part, the stereotype is it makes you angry. No, it doesn't. It makes you calm. It makes me calm.
I think it's the combination of alcohol, is it not?
I don't know the science, but heard of roid rage before?
Yeah, of course.
Didn't happen to me.
Never seen it.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, really good.
But I can't tell whether that's just a part of you getting older or whether that's a you case. You
Don't know.
specifically.
But yeah, things like that, moving and dancing like Magic Mike and, sex and like material things and like, I've always had this dream of having this V8 Mercedes. Like, I've always wanted one.
German made car.
German-made car. Yeah, I know. Okay, we won't talk about that. German-made car. I saw my first Mercedes V8 when I was like 18, right? And I just fell in love. Basically, the past 20 years, I've kind of chased getting one. Never got one. They're expensive, you know what I mean? They're 100 grand.
Yeah.
But I really want one. And yeah.
Now you don't care about it anymore.
Once I don't care, but look at it different. All I now think about is how much is that going to cost to run? How much is that going to be when that gets a garage bill? Looking at my garage bills on my little shitty C-Class and thinking, they frighten me.
Yeah.
They frighten me on a 13-year-old C-Class. What is a brand new V8 Mercedes with fucking, whatever they're called, carbon fiber, fucking gold, genie lamp brakes or whatever you call them. Like,
Stefano.
yeah, like $6 grand a brake. Like, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, no. Like, no. And then you start looking at them Skoda diesels and think, it's not a bad little motor, that.
I often think about competition winners, when like they'll win a competition and they get like, oh, you'll run a Lamborghini. And it's like, yeah. You can't keep a Lamborghini.
There she
One
is.
bump and you're fucked for life, yeah.
There she is. Yeah, I've chased one of them. Obviously, they've changed
piece of car, that.
over the years. This black one here. No, not this one. That's ridiculous. Go on, these here, Southpaw. This there. Stop that. That is what this is a C63 C-Class Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. You could have said anything to me there.
Coupe.
Oh yeah, one of them.
It's the coupe one. Obviously, this Mercedes engine, the V8 6.3 engine, that's been around. It's obviously refined, but they've been knocking these out since the 90s.
Right.
But there were obviously different models and didn't look like that.
Yeah.
But the Mercedes have always done this V8 6.3 all the way back to the 90s. And mate, I fell in love with one of these when I was a kid and just like, oh my God, one day.
That's the one.
Yeah, and even up until a year ago, mate, I was that close. Like a year ago, I was that close. I was signing documents. It fell through in the end, but I very nearly had one. Yeah, but now when you think about it, like...
That's just part of getting old and mature, and I think, start to realise, the materialistic stuff don't matter. The amount of money that you would spend on something like that.
Yeah.
Like, how much is it? That's
Brand new?
Yeah,
100 grand.
100 grand off the top. I bet that there are a million different ways you would spend that 100 grand now rather than getting a car.
House.
House,
One
straight
go.
off the bat. Yep.
Straight in. House. Secondary, mum's house. Done.
Yeah.
Third, just put it in the bank.
Yeah.
Have a big buffer so that when times are hard or ups and downs, I mean, right now we're starting a new career. Like, that's what we are. We're sat here now in a new career. Do you know what 100 grand could do to that?
Yeah.
Do you know how that could amplify us forward if we had 100 grand?
Exactly.
Do you think if I had 100 grand, I'm going to go buy a Mercedes? Hell no.
There we go.
Hell no. We're going to plow it into this, is what we're going to do. We're going to buy some time. We'll give Dash 50 grand of it. We'll buy a month off that we're just going to sit here for a month and figure this shit out instead of coming once a week for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's what we would do with 100 grand. Invest.
Exactly.
Invest in ourselves. That's what you do with 100 grand.
Priorities have changed.
Yeah.
You know.
Doesn't excite. Don't get me wrong. If someone said, listen, you can have one, we'll pay all the garage bills, get back, bop, bop. You know what I mean? Like, of course. Yeah. But no. No. It's not what you do with your money. It's not what to do. It's not long lasting. It's only fun for a bit, you know?
Yeah. It's impractical in the grand scheme of it all.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of it, you know, is what it is. I want a Toyota now. I want a Toyota Land Cruiser now. These are still very expensive cars.
Yeah.
You heard of a Land Cruiser before?
My dad had a Land Cruiser.
Wow. Give me some skin, mate. I love that. Yes, mate.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, my boy.
And then decided it was too expensive to run and stuff.
Not this new one. Search for a 2018, I suppose, is the one I would want. Do you know why these are so special? Do you know, my friend, you could throw a nuclear bomb at this and this would not break? Do you know that?
Yeah.
This is a serious bit of kit. Do you know who drives these?
Joe
The
Rogan.
fucking Taliban, mate.
Really?
Yeah, mate. The fucking Taliban.
No way.
Yeah, mate. Across the fucking rocks.
I wasn't sure what my dad was doing at the time when he had one of these. So.
No, listen, joking aside, right? You own a Toyota Land Cruiser. Should I tell you what it is? And I'm thinking about going for this on Tiki because I ain't got no 80 grand. One of these that they like nearly new is about 60 grand, right? You can get one that's like 5 years. They hold the value mental. So like 5 years old and they're still 60 grand and they have like 100,000 miles on the clock. And you say to me, hang on, Dan, you're going to buy a 5-year-old Jeep with 100,000 miles for 60 grand and it's a Toyota. You'd say, are you mad? No, I'm not mad. Not with this one. Do you know why? Because these go forever. They do not break.
Yeah.
You buy this car, when you are 60, you'll be driving this car and it'll look just the same if you take care of it and it'll run like a dream. This is what you want.
Yeah.
So I might ticky one of these up. I mean, that's an ugly one, that's the wrong age. I might ticky one of these up, swallow it for 5 years and then no, I never need to buy another car again because this, come rain, come sleet, come snow, will start and get me where I'm going forever.
Yeah.
That is the most unsexual, non-Magic Mike car you will ever see. You know? Nobody ever pulled in one of them, right? But who's trying to pull?
I disagree.
Do you think?
Hell yeah.
Maybe a traveller. But yeah. Anyway, that's that. But yeah, priorities, they change, right?
I do.
It's all different.
Of course.
100 grand. I mean, I might buy a Land Cruiser and put 40 grand in this, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, just lads, I need to get us to the studio,
course,
right? We've got 40 grand.
It's
we
in
can
the
have,
countryside. When it
yeah,
snows, you
we
can
can
want to
have
get
a
here.
week off. We can have 2 weeks off, you know? Say it's an investment in us, mate, you know? No, joking aside, I wouldn't. Truth be told, I wouldn't, like. Bet a lot of money I'd buy one, cash. But, no, you are right. And I think, I think it's a natural process. I think it happens to everybody.
Yeah. Like in my experience, like when I was a kid, I either wanted a Ford Mustang
Of course you did.
or I wanted Ford Mustangs are awesome. Or I was a big fan of, the American chopper documentaries that they used to do.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted one of them fucking chopper bikes. And I was like, yeah.
Wheel 2 foot that way, 5 foot that way.
Yeah, man. I thought they were fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, and they are.
And, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager or whatever, I thought they were fucking awesome. And I still kind of do. But now that I'm 29, I'm like thinking,
I could fall off that.
yeah, I might die.
Could really graze my knee.
I live in the UK. There's a lot of potholes.
Yes, it wouldn't work.
It would be very bad. Yeah.
No.
So no, I do not want one of those at all.
No. Still dig the fantasy though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's part of growing up, maturing, and figuring your shit out.
I mean, you're in a bit of an anomaly, Southpaw, and I admire it. I'm not coming at you from any, sort of piss take angle here. I so wish I had his brain when I was his age. I so wish I had your brain.
You've said this before, and
Yeah,
I really
man.
appreciate it, Dan, but I don't see what you see, to be honest with you, mate.
I mean, at 23 years old, you know the importance and value of owning a property now.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've always, from a young age, always wanted property.
Well, at 23, I understood the value of owning a property.
Yeah.
The bother was I didn't have the means to start saving, which is an opportunity that you, my friend, Southpaw, you have.
Yes, no, I have. And
Took
I'm
me a while.
taking that on board.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, I respect you, mate, and I think you're doing a mint thing.
Yeah,
I
you
think,
really are.
Yeah, don't, you just said something a minute ago, and it's, just my opinion. Nah, mate, like, fuck all that off. Like, keep going the way you're going and keep doing what you're doing, because, yeah, man, you got the right ideas.
I appreciate that, boys.
Yeah,
Makes me
special, innit?
Yeah,
I don't
it is.
know how to take. I've awful compliments, but I massively appreciate it, especially.
Well, we're giving out compliments. Like, I've noticed, Johnny, you've been doing some hard work recently. I noticed that.
Yeah.
And I know this show that we do probably isn't the best place to say it, but I am going to say it. Because if I say it on here, it lasts forever, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah.
As long as I keep it in the edit.
Yeah, as long as you keep it in the edit. No,
We'll see how I react to it.
yeah, what you're doing now, juggling these two worlds, and it's coming from somebody who understands what it's like to juggle two worlds. I know hard work too. I know what stress is like. Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough, and I just want you to know that I admire you. I admire what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think you're really shining. Like,
I hope so.
you are.
Feels a little bit at the minute like the more I do, the more I seem to have to do. Like I'm doing a lot of hours, putting a lot of work in, and then still like there's still a backlog of work that I need to clear, which is a weird position to be in, where it feels like my effort doesn't actually mean much because in the grand scheme of things, the problems are still there.
I feel you.
But
Each week, I have to go in and sell my heart and soul out in that company.
and then the result is you then next week
All
have
that-
another week where you have to do it all
All
over
that does
again.
is pay the wages and bills for that week. And on Monday, you got to go again.
Yeah.
And while you're in the middle of it all, you got to switch character on a Wednesday and come completely out of that sales character. You see me at work. I'm different at work.
Yeah. You
I
don't
mean, that-
talk to me at work.
Yeah, it's the only way I can do my job.
No, I get it.
I don't know another way to do it.
I don't hold any
I have
malice
to-
towards that. I think I get it. You just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I just have to do it. It's the only way to do it. I can't, unfortunately, I can't. I mean, my Reese is great. He can have a laugh and a joke and still do his job.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I just can't, man. I just have to get in this, like, fucking-
Even me, compared to what I used to be like, where I feel like I'm a lot less friendly towards people than I used to be in the office, because I just, I have to like sit and just poof, tunnel vision it.
tunnel vision.
Focus like a laser beam.
Tunnel
Get
vision.
it done.
That's what it is, right? And now we're in a world where it's not even if like we can come in on a Monday, get up on a Monday morning and think, right, 5 days, program, tunnel vision. The end is 5 o'clock on a Friday, mission, let's get it accomplished. What we have to do now, which is off it, is we have to go do that on a Monday. When Tuesday night comes, we have to go, oh, stop that for a minute, completely forget that character, quickly get out of that, think a completely different way, be a completely different person, come in here and do this.
Yeah.
But just all that stuff isn't in real. Like,
Just push it off. You just
it's not even
partition
a
it,
thing.
something else,
It's not
yeah.
even a thing. This is what we do now. We make content. Hi, camera 1, camera 2. This is what we do now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
But-
and I do get that, Dan, but I think you need to compliment yourself, mate. I think there has definitely been shows that we've done, and it's been noticeable. Your head's still,
Oh, mate.
your head's been in that world still. But I think
You were
show-
there this morning.
Yeah.
I literally had to talk myself out, and it's still there now.
I don't think you see it when I've been doing the editing.
yeah.
You don't see it.
I can, yeah, that's
play a
what I
hell
was
of a
going to
game
say.
there.
I think you're doing a very,
Listen,
very
it's
good.
like a duck. I said this to somebody, one of my friends last night. You see the duck on the water, it looks calm, right? Little legs going like this underneath.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard. But I have something for us all, right? We're all working very hard, aren't we?
Yeah.
I had a poem.
Oh, poem.
Ooh.
So this happened by accident, okay?
I didn't realise.
And this is, I suppose, copying, because I actually heard somebody narrating or saying this poem on a podcast, right? I won't name it, but I thought to myself, these words in this poem moved me so much, right? Just off the back of what we're talking about now, about trying hard and having to put your all into something, right? And these words, it caught me like unawares. You know, you just sometimes catch things on social media and it just proper resonates with you. And I thought, I'm going to Google that. And I Googled who he was, and he was a poet. And the poem is called Roll the Dice. Okay. Now, much like songs and poems and clouds, what one person sees might be different to what another person sees. You might listen to a song and think, oh, I get that message. I might listen to the same song and get a completely different message. I think that's a beauty in some poems.
That's art. That is what it is.
Well, I'm going to read you a poem and I am stealing this off a guy called Charles Bukowski, right? He's a poet.
I recognize the name. Charles
Bukowski. And I'm just reading it because it really hit home with me. And off the back of that, off effort, right? Off just how hard we all try. And I'd like to share it with you. Okay? I'll have a drink. This is Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you will do it. Despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. And that is Roll the Dice by Charles Bukowski. Now, when I heard that the other day, that kind of resonated with me in a way that the go all the way bit was like, throw everything at it. Go all the way. Don't look back. Just go all the way and keep doing it until it happens. Mm-hmm. When I actually looked into the meaning on a thing called Quora, which is like a review type site, lots of people had different views on it. One person said it could be about gambling, and something about like how he read it was, you know, it could relate to somebody who's got a gambling problem and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I never saw it that way. That isn't how it struck with mine. Did you take anything away from that poem?
It jarred us initially, and I had a problem with it at the start, especially when it was like saying like, you know, you might lose your loved ones or your wives. And I was thinking like, you know, looking at my situation where I'm working a lot and I spend nights sat with my computer rather than right? talking to Mish. I've always had it in my mind that, you know, there's a mechanism in place there where if it ever got to the point where Misha was unhappy as a result of the amount of work that I was doing, that I would fuck it off.
Yeah.
And it would shock you how fast I would fuck it off.
Yeah.
So it jarred us then when I heard the poem and he was saying, you know, you might lose your loved ones and your family. And I was thinking, well, no, I'm not prepared for that.
Strong in it.
Yeah. I'm not prepared for that. And then I started to think about it a little bit more. And as you went deeper into the poem, I was like, well, no, he's not really talking about the work that I'm doing necessarily. It's more about staying alive And it's not about how much work I'm doing. It's not about me sat at my desk. It's about, you know, no matter what happens in your life, Misha dies in a car accident, I lose my mum and dad, anything like that, go all the way. Don't, you know, take your own life kind of thing.
I never saw that, but yeah, of course.
That's how it stuck with me at the end. And that's where I ended up.
You see, just in that there, I have my own programming and what I hear from it and the message, which was not what you've just said. But when you've just said it, my brain's just gone, oh yeah, that's probably what it meant. Mm-hmm. That's powerful shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a good poem.
Good poem, innit?
Yeah.
You take anything from that, Southpaw?
I think for me it stuck more to work, because there can be times when I can be a little half-assed at times and rely on other people, and you know, I do have the capability to go all the way, and I can do that. So I think for me, it didn't resonate as deep. I'd have to read it a few more times to resonate with it more, but it just was push yourself to your absolute max. You only get one go at this. That's what it stuck with me.
Yeah, I think we could collectively say, you know, in this room we've heard three things, or three sort of ways of looking at it. You know, a strong point that I just heard from you, which unsettled me a bit, was the thing that Mish, obviously, she's number one priority.
Yeah.
And yeah, don't ever let, that's your go all the way.
I think so.
That's your go all the way. Is whatever she needs. Like whatever makes that fine, go all the way with that.
Yeah.
I would say. And like your version of it as well. Like, yeah, go all the way on that as well. I think what we can all agree on is like that the term like go all the way, like whatever we're doing in whichever way, whatever we're putting ourselves into and whatever we want to do with our life, go all the way with that. And if Misha's what you want to do and, you know, this life, what we're doing here and talking at these mics is what I want to do, you know, have kids maybe and get married and you with your career and your house, go all the way with it. And yeah.
I think the ultimate thing is keep working towards something. Always be working towards, you know, whatever you want out of life.
Yeah.
Whether it be this, be relationships, make sure that you're heading towards it and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.